Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. On this channel, I share videos about sewing, pattern drafting and everything in fashion. On today's tutorial, I'm going to share with you guys how to sew palazzo pants with stylish fringed Asòkè patches. And if you're interested in videos like this, please kindly subscribe and also turn on your notification bell for more videos like this. Okay, so I've gone ahead to draft my trouser pattern, and as you can see on the screen, this is just the pattern pieces I'm just arranging. So I've laid them out on the table to know which one I'm going to start sewing. So the first thing I went ahead to do is to measure in the darts. So I shared it into two at the waistline. So divide the waistline you have right here into two and then mark the midpoint. That should be where your dart is situated in. And from there you have to go downwards by 4 inches. So this is the back waist dart. I'm going downwards by 4 inches and I'm going to mark it by ½ inch on both sides to impute the dart legs. So I'll do the same thing for the other side and also repeat the same thing for the front. And if you intend to know how I drafted this trouser pattern, I have a video tutorial on how to draft a regular trouser pattern, especially the palazzo pattern right there on the channel. So you can go ahead and scroll to watch before coming back to this particular video. After I was done imputing the darts for the back waist, I went ahead to do the same thing on the front and also notch the part. Now I'm going to arrange the pocket of our trouser with the front piece of our trouser. This is a pocket with the cut together facing. Placing it this way, I'm going to make sure they are facing each other on the right sides, and then I'll head over to stitch the curvy part by ½ inch. Notch them and flip it back in so that way it stays in its original form. So go ahead now and just do the same thing on the other side. After you're done stitching, it should look like this. So it should be on the right side like this. That's where you see me arranging. That way we can have our right sides facing outwards on the facing. Alright, now we're going to head over to the sewing machine and then stitch the darts as well. Now I've worked on the darts and I've already gone ahead to fix the pockets. This should be very easy for you to understand as I had explained. So the next step I'm going to take now is to bring in the Asòkè strands. This is like a one roll of Asòkè. I'm going to divide it into two to give me 2 equal sides for the trouser. Now I'm going to be placing it this way. Mind you, I am placing it on the back piece of the trouser pattern, only on the right sides. And then I'm going to fold the edge like this on the middle so that way I can top stitch on it closer to the edge in the tiniest way possible. Go ahead and arrange this properly the way that it should sit towards the side seam on the trouser, so that way the outer part is going to be stitched together with the side seam of the front and the back. So I'm just showing you guys how it should look like, okay? So I went ahead to loosen the lower part of the Asòkè to create my fringe. So this fringe became so hard to loosen. The thing I did was just to split the horizontal stitches, or rather knitting around there and leaving only the long vertical ones. So don't forget to measure the distance you want to stop at. Right now, I've gone ahead to iron ½ inch inwards. On the edge, I want to top stitch on the back trouser pattern. So you can see me placing them where I want it to sit in, and then I'm pinning them all around to secure it in place. Don't forget to place yours directly on the dart of the trouser and then pin them in place as I have stated. This is what it should look like after you're done pinning, and head over to the machine to stitch or top stitch it. Now after top stitching, this is what I had. You can see how neat it's looking like, and then this is the pocket. I've gone ahead to close the side seam of the back and the front pattern of the trouser. This is what it looks like. I also went ahead to weave it to secure the fraying fabric from loosening. So right now we have one leg of the trouser pattern, and I also did the same thing for the second leg pattern of the trouser. So this is what the second one looks like after I was done stitching. Do not forget to leave an allowance for your zipper. So I have 1 inch on both sides of the trouser and it's about 8 inches deep. So after you're done stitching the sides, next thing you're going to do is to align the trouser on the crotch. So place the crotch of the two front pieces together next to each other so that way you can just stitch them without getting confused, and then place them right next to each other with the right sides facing each other, just the way you see me doing. That way you can just go ahead and pin them in place, and then also do the same thing for the back. So make sure that the crotch of the back pattern is aligned with each other, then stitch with ½ inch all the way from the top to the bottom, and then also do the same thing for that of the front as well. Now once you're done stitching and weaving, go ahead and notch the curvy part of the crotch pattern for that of the front and the back. So this is what mine looks like. After that, the next thing you're going to do is to join the inseam of the trouser. Now open it up like this on your table With the right side facing upwards, go ahead and fold it this way and bring one part of the crotch to meet the other crotch, just the way you see me doing. And then you may want to just align it in place and then make sure that everything is equal before stitching. So after you are done arranging, head over to the machine and stitch it by the allowance you gave on the pattern. Okay, I'm going to stitch by 1 inch. I'll go ahead and stitch it all the way from this side to the other side of the other leg. Once I am done stitching, I'll also not forget to fold the hem this way. So I'll double fold it this way by half of an inch, then by 1 inch and stitch. So this is what it looks like after I was done closing the inseam of the trouser, and you can tell by the way I am arranging them. So I'll go ahead now and work on the waistband. Of course, the waistband is the next thing we are going to sew, and to do that, you're going to measure the circumference of the waist of the trouser pants and then cut it out on your fabric, okay? But before I proceed, I'm going to trim out this excess fringe I have here on the lower part of the trouser. So back to the waistband, get your measuring tape, place it on one end of the trouser waistline like this, and then take it all around and get the accurate measurements you have for this particular waistline. So you might want to do this gradually so that way you can get the exact measurement. If you know that you didn't get it well, please go ahead and retake the measurement. So whatever you have here is what you're going to cut on your paper or on your band. For this, I'm going to be cutting it out directly on paper first of all, so that way I can get accurate measurement of the waistband. So rule a line this way that serves as your starting line, and you might want to go upwards by extra 2 inches. The length of this paper is more than 20 inches, so I'm just going to draw a line that is more than 20 inches, and I'm going to start imputing my waistline measurement. So for my waistline measurement, I'm going to be imputing what I have for my back waistline, and then from there I'll measure what I have for my front waistline because I measured them separately. So this is going to be the back side of my trouser waistband, and then that is the front side. So I'm going to demarcate the middle this way, and we have a midpoint there. That demarcation serves at the side seam of my trouser. Over here on the front side, I'm going to divide what we have for the front into two and get a midpoint for the front waistband. So that way we can get an accurate curve. I don't have my pants curve here or my hip curve. I'm going to make do with this particular measurement. So the next thing I'm going to do is to make sure to draw a line from this part of the angle, which is 2 inches wide. I'm just going to make a curve, like a curve, actual curve that will get our waistband. I'm going to slant it inwards like this. So our band is 1/2 inch wide. You can see that I'm going ahead to draw the second curve there. So what I'm doing is making sure that the band is 1.5 inch wide all through. And I also went ahead to blend any sharp points we have along the curve. You can decide to leave your band this way and cut it as a one-piece band, but to make it more fitted, I will go ahead and come in with at this point around the back and take out 1/2 inch like this at the top. That 1/2 inch is going to make our band much more fitted on the waistline. For much more tighter waistline, you can go ahead and just add 0.25 inches. In total, we're going to have about 0.75. So I'm taking out 0.75 inch around this part so that way I can have a fitted back waistline on the band. So because I'm going to be sharing the band into two, this midpoint here becomes the side seam. Now this is going to be the center front, okay, and this is the center back. So I'll go ahead and cut it out and take away this part of the pattern. After cutting it out, this is what it looks like, okay? It's going to be sitting this way on our trouser waistline. And now remember that I told you that this is going to be 1.5 inch band waistline. So I'll go ahead now and just mark the midpoint and then bring it out to be very visible. And the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut it with the scissors. After I was done cutting, I proceeded to label the end of the front like this as the side front and this edge of the back as the side back. And to make it even more fitted, I decided to take away 0.25 inch on the top like this, okay? So I did it on the side front and the side back. So I drew a line like this to connect it and then cut it out. So guys, this is what I had. I have the front of the band and the back of the band. Next, I proceeded to cut it out on fabric and I folded the fabric into two to give me 2 for each band. And then I added 0.5 inch all around the band, just as you see me doing. Then I proceeded to cut it out. So I cut through the sides and through the bottom part like this, and the top is supposed to have a fold, but I'm going to be making a joining there because it's two pattern now, and one is going to serve as a facing for the band and one is going to serve as the main band. So this is what it looks like after I was done cutting. I'm going to remove my pins and then I'm going to open it up for you guys to see. Now I have two for the front of the waistband. One is going to serve as a facing and one is going to serve as a main band. So I proceeded to mark out the wrong side so that I won't get confused. And then I'm also going to take away the pins for the back waistband. Now the back waistband is supposed to be two just as the front, but because I slit the center back, now I have four pieces. So I'm going to be joining the center back to center back so that way I will have two pieces for each. Right now I'm going to just mark the wrong side so I won't get confused as well. And I'm also marking it towards the center back so that way I'll know there's a joining there. So I'll be joining them with the center back to center back for each band so that way I'll have two. Now the center back of the facing will come together and the center back of the main band will come together. I'll be stitching them by half of an inch on the machine. And after I was done, this is what I have. It's now two piece. So one is going to serve for the facing and one is going to serve for the main band. Also, I brought the front piece like this to just make them into one long piece. So one of the front piece is going to be stitched together with one of the back piece. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stitch it on that side seam I indicated when I was drafting the band. So that way I will have a long piece that goes around the waist. And I'll also go ahead and do the same thing for the main fabric of the band. Now I'll just align them this way and join them on the sides. So you have to be careful not to stitch them at different sides. So since I'm joining on the right side, that means our zipper is going to be on the left side. Now after joining, I went ahead to stitch it at the top, close the sewing allowance at the top, and you can see now I have one piece with the down part still open. So I also folded it this way by half inch so that way I will just top stitch after sewing in the other half. I also attached my interfacing to the main piece of the band, and the other side without the interfacing is going to serve as the facing. So the interfacing part is the one I folded by half inwards, and I didn't forget to top stitch it at the top towards the facing part so that way I will have the facing serving as a lining. So now this is what it looks like. I'm going to stitch it this way and then close it this way. It's going to look like this after I was done stitching. Now I'll head over to align it on my waistband of the trouser using the side seam and the center back. So now I'm bringing my trouser pattern here inside to the band. You can see that the band is quite longer than the waist. That is not a problem because I added extra allowances at the zipper side. So that way I can have excesses and trim them off when I was done stitching. I'm going to open up the insides of the pants this way and I'm going to place the band like this, okay, with the right side facing the wrong side of the pants inwards. And I'm going to start aligning from the side seam to the other end. And here the center back is also meeting with the center back of the pants. So I'll go ahead and pin it in place and also align the front like this. I also aligned the front waistband using the notch I had there and proceed to stitch it by half inch and then close the upper part and top stitch. This is what it looks like after I was done stitching. You can see that I top stitched and secured the main waistband all around the waistline. So this is the center back joining, aligning with the center back of the trouser pants, and then this is the front. I will go ahead as well and add the zip, and that will be the last step I'll be taking in this tutorial. Now, if you've been watching up to this extent, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also share this video to people that might like to watch it. And if you are satisfied with the explanations I gave on this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up or a like. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll also be there to reply and answer your questions. I also made the matching button-down shirt for this trouser and it really came out as I expected. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye and God bless you.